I have no idea how to share when I go live on here. But I had a few minutes while I was sitting here, and I just wanted to jump on here for a moment and just possibly express some things that I've been downloading lately. Hey, Lucky Her. Peace. So 9 times out of 10, when you get on here, I won't see you. I don't know why, but I can't see when people are on here, but I can see when people comment. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. So I appreciate you for commenting. Yes, thank you for that, sis. That's sweet. All is well. All is well. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's okay. So first of all, I wanted to say it's really interesting how this healing journey works, because if you have not met your shadow self yet, like consistently, you're not going to be able to accomplish anything you want to accomplish. You're not going to be able to do anything and stick to it. You're going to be rattled by everything happening in the world. Like, we just had some more portals open up. So we're going to have more entities coming into our version of reality that are going to have people wilding out and being unhinged as fuck. And the only way that I can be an oracle who is intuitive, hypersensitive, I feel everything. Like, I am someone no one can lie to and get away with it because I feel so deeply, right? But it's so much happening in the world right now, and it's going to sound so crazy. It's going to sound so crazy, but hear me. If your spiritual gifts are being activated and you're starting to get more sensitive to energy, almost to the point of self-isolating yourself, that is a part of this journey, but don't stay stuck there. Okay? Your shadow self holds the key. Your shadow self is the part of you that you don't like. It's the part of you that other people don't like. It's the part of you that led to people mistreating you. It's the part of you that gets spiteful. It's the part of you that holds the resentment. It's the part of you that feel like you go out of your way and you're underappreciated. It's the part of you that's afraid to admit that sometimes I do feel jealous when I see other people, even on social media, when I see other people and their lives look how I feel my life should be, but it's not. And I fucking feel a way about it. I don't like it. It's the part of you that is annoyed as fuck by your children's presence because your nervous system is dysregulated, and the presence of little people that don't understand boundaries, it's annoying. And I just want to be by myself for a moment. I need to decompress. It's nothing against the children. They haven't done anything wrong. This your shadow self holds these internal conversations and emotions and feelings. And I really need y'all to hear me when I say you must, if you have not ever done the shadow self ritual, you must do this if you want to continue to master yourself. Because spiritually activated people who are still emotionally dysregulated becomes a weapon of mass destruction. And we will be hurting people and hurting ourselves unintentionally. Okay? So these parts of us that we don't like, the part of us that's not productive, the part of us that's lazy, that procrastinate, the part of us that sign up for courses and don't finish them, the part of us that order books and don't read them, the part of us that buy crystals and don't use them, the part of us that just feel too fucking tired to do anything, the part of us that doom scroll and we keep saying I'm gonna get off of here, but we're still on there and we're still doing it, the part of us that do shit like tell people you go show up for something and you know that you don't have the energy, or you know that you really ain't been feeling people, you just don't want to be people in right now. It's that time of year, and this time of year our capacity to control the energy that we contain and broadcast is being tested on a major level. It's tested every year around this time. Okay, that is by design. That's to help us, but it's not going to feel like it's helping you if you and your shadow self not being allies. If you're still in warfare, with your shadow self, that's a civil war. So if civil war does expand, because I'm not going to even say it ain't even happening, but if it does, it will be because we are having a civil war with ourselves. Okay? Because we create broadcast systems every day, which means your emotions creates your algorithm. Okay? And your algorithm being created by your emotions is fed by your thoughts, and it's usually fed by assumptions. So you are being spiritually activated. If you're watching me, you were attracted to this. This is what I don't know. I don't even know how to send out something that says I'm going live. So I'm just like, whoever find me, right? And it's divine time and it's divinely aligned. So you're gonna be tested on all of these things. All of that shit that we be talking, you know, when you feeling yourself and you be like, yeah, I'm woke and I'm going through the awakening and I see through this shit. I'm not eating this anymore because I know this is wrong with it. Like we get to feeling ourselves a little bit. We be talking, you know, we be like, I'm so done with emotional immaturity. I'm so done with lowering my value. Like for people, I'm so done with making myself small so other people feel comfortable in the things that they are complicit in creating that's toxic. Like we have those moments, right? And those moments are when your higher self is speaking through, okay? But the ego self is kind of tapping into that. So let me tell you about the shadow work ritual. This is on my Patreon, but I'm going to share this here for you all if you're not on my Patreon, okay? But first of all, let me say this. If you don't have a routine that helps you to love yourself, protect yourself, nurture yourself, heal yourself, because you're going to have to go through recovery every single day. Because our energy system is changing, the light body is being activated, we're getting more telepathic, we're becoming more clairvoyant, being able to pick up on sensations, we're becoming more clairsentient, we're becoming like all of the clairs, like everything is being activated all at once. And if you have trauma in your childhood, you're super sensitive. You're sensitive as fuck. And so it's real easy for us to move into resentment. It's real easy for us to move into feeling unappreciated and becoming spiteful. Like you need to be so tapped into this part of yourself where there is no shame that you feel about it, and you can just admit it, and you can say, yeah, I definitely I be on that. I do. I've been selfish. Yeah, I have. Like when you can just say it and you don't have a strong emotional response like that, you should feel ashamed. You are a sinner. You are just disgusting and bad. That internal dialogue, that inner critic that we have inside of us, right? That's the shadow self letting us know you're not talking to me. You don't have any compassion for me. You're so busy hating these parts of yourself and beating yourself up that you don't even realize that if you become an ally with me, we can actually work together and create a new reality. Like your shadow self is not against you. Okay, so let me tell you a little story about me meeting my shadow self, and then I'm going to give you the shadow self ritual here. And for those of you who like what I share, of course, you can follow the links in the bio. I got shit everywhere. so much content. It's ridiculous. When I call myself a Akashic record reader, I say that because I mean it. And information is almost always streaming. I'm always live streaming with the Akashic records. um, so because the root of everything happening in our world is fucked up, is because of the shit that's in the shadows. So that's why I'm talking about you. So one day, I was watching a Bobby Hemmett video, and I wanted to know, I wanted to know how to get my shadow self to talk to me, and I didn't know how to get in touch with this part of myself. I notice her every day because I get frustrated when I can't accomplish things. I get irritated by people who just do stuff that's just irritating. Like I have a part of me, um, I have a part of me that is so hyper vigilant, so sensitive to energy, and because of my childhood trauma, I'm super sensitive to feeling like I'm being slighted, or feeling like I'm being lied to, or like there are certain things I'm really sensitive about. So when this stuff would happen, I wanted to know, like, how can I be in touch with my shadow self so I'm not feeling like I got to be defensive all the time, right? And so a lot of times I will suppress myself. So I'm not the one that's going to go into fight. Usually it takes a lot for me to get there. I would just either go into freeze mode, self isolate, be super quiet into myself, or I would repress it, hold it in until it build up and kept building up, and then finally I would go into fight mode and explode. And I didn't like this pattern that I was seeing, right? So I'm watching a Bobby Hemmett video, and I'm starting to connect the dots. And so I was like, you know what? Give me access to something that's like actually going to like speed up this process. You know what I'm saying? So what I ended up doing was, within a few days, like, information just was trickling in, and I learned about staring in the mirror with candlelight and talking to my shadow self in the mirror. So, mirrors in metaphysics, you can definitely tell I'm from Memphis when I try to say mirror. 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 Ooh, most people don't know I'm from Memphis because of the way I talk. I have really worked on articulating myself outside of the Memphis dialect. But mirror, it exposes me. I'm exposed. So I heard about this shadow self ritual where you look at yourself in a mirror. And so a mirror is a portal. Okay? A mirror is a portal. And it gives you access to alternate dimensions. Okay? Now, there's some rules to this. And here are some of the rules for safety reasons. Number one, before you do this, make sure that you got your self-love routines on point. There are some rituals that you are supposed to do every single day for the purpose of spiritual hygiene and self-love. Make sure that you are doing that. All right? Number two, don't do this and your children are around. Be by yourself when you are doing this. Number three, use a black candle because black candles absorb negativity. Black absorbs all energy, okay? So that way you're able to absorb any energy that may or may not be useful for you. The next thing is to make sure that you are ready to be honest with yourself. Because if you have been an asshole, but admitting that you've been an asshole is too uncomfortable for you to admit. So you got all these other things in your mind, all these other narratives, all these other ways you reframe yourself. We do this shit in the moment. We're really good at this. Okay? I could be being an asshole and give myself a million reasons to make it not be something that's toxic, and I'll actually believe that shit. We're really good at this. We all can do this. So I'm just letting you know now, be ready to hear your inner critic, okay? But the inner critic is going to be speaking to you from a whole different dimension of yourself. So there are worlds inside of us, really. No one person is one person, okay? Whatever elements of your ancestors you hold as traits within your personality, gods, goddesses, nettas, netarus, the Ori, like all of these different systems of spiritual systems, these things exist inside of us. Okay? You are the microcosm of the macrocosm. So there are many universes inside of every single human being. All right? So acknowledging that one thing, knowing that it's going to give you access to communicate with spirits, with entities, with your higher I divine self, your shadow self, like through the mirror, you will be able to make these connections with these parts of you that you probably can't usually connect with. Okay? So what you're going to do is light the candle, set the intention. I like the Palo Santo, my candles, before I use them. All of my tools, I use Palo Santo. Okay? But after you have cleansed, make sure you do this safely. I put my candles in a small bottle, like a small bowl with water in it, just for safety reasons, in case I knock it over or something, because I got a lot of shit in my bathroom that's probably not going to be really good to have flames touching it. So just for my safety, and because you're in complete darkness. You must be in complete darkness. Okay? When you look in the mirror, I want you to ask your shadow self to come forward. If you start judging what you see, your shadow self will not show up. But if you are in a neutral state and you're not going to be judgmental of what you see, your shadow self will show up. So the very first time I did this, I couldn't help but think about the what was it, say Bloody Mary in the mirror so many times. And like we used to do it, but when we get to like the third Bloody Mary, we would stop and run. I don't know, was that just us being weird? But like this is some shit we did as kids. I'm Gen X. But anyway, as I'm doing this, I thought about that and I was like, oh shit. Then I remember the movie Candyman. Like in a lot of horror movies, you have seen mirrors used for things. Even Alice in Wonderland, it was a mirror that she fell through to go into that alternate reality. Like truth is stranger than fiction, and it's usually in movies and stuff. Exactly. Okay. So I'm thinking about Bloody Mary, and I'm like, Bloody Mary, I'm grown now. Like there's no reason for me to be afraid of you. So that's not what I'm here to do. I'm getting in touch with my child. I had to talk to my inner child because my inner child, like, hold up. I remember doing this when we was kids. I had to talk to my inner child and let my inner child know this is something different. So I started staring in the mirror at myself, and the very first thing that started to happen, you're probably going to feel fear. You probably are going. I want you to pay close attention to what you feel when you do this. Because remember, I said your emotions create the energy that you broadcast, okay? So when you get in the mirror and you start communicating with your shadow self, I want you to keep love in your heart. This is going to protect you, but this is also going to make the communication stronger. So I did this, and my shadow self, this particular time, it's been different each time. Looked like an old man. I was struggling to not be judgmental of seeing this old man. I started to get a mustache and a beard. I was fine, but still, I was a little offended for a moment. And my I divine self said, if you get offended by what you see shape shifted in the mirror, your shadow self is going to go away. So I remembered that. So I was like, okay, let me not, that's because that's not what I'm here to do. I don't want to make my shadow self go away. So I accept the fact that I look like a fine ass old man, and I'm kind of tripping. I didn't do any shrooms, no drugs, nothing like that. This is the power of you bringing the right frequency to this ritual. And I asked my shadow self, why are you showing me to me as a man? And he said to me, because this is the energy that you operate in most of the time. You operate like a man. And first of all, he just read me like so quick and told me some shit about me that I really had not realized. Yes. And I said to him, how am I acting like a man? And he said, because you are constantly thinking about how to be productive. That's all you do. You feel like you always got to be on go. You feel like you always got to be the one providing protection. Like you never give yourself a break. You like you always got to be the one providing protection. Like you never give yourself a break. You're operating in masculine energy all the time, and it is the reason. It is one of the main reasons that you are sick. But also, if you are a woman and you operate in masculine energy too much, you will attract people who will expect you to be a man. They will expect you to operate and function like a man. They will expect you to protect and hold space for them. They will expect you to help them when they need something, because a man is a great provider. He's created to be a great provider. You will have things come into your life that demand more energy of you than your feminine dominant body has to give. Now, because I'm in perimenopause, my hormones are changing. So all of that energy that I had to mask and be nice, I don't have the capacity to do that anymore. It just is what it is. And you gonna get the truth from me, and I'm just go. I mean, that's just what it is. Um, so it was interesting. My shadow self taught me the significance of feminine energy and showed me how I had abandoned my own feminine energy. And okay, I say yes. So I said, how do I fix this? And he said, well, first of all, you need to create rituals and you need to stand on your spiritual business. Do it every day. Your self-care every day, skincare, all of that. So, like, I created my routine and I never stopped since then. And this has been years ago when I first did this. This was 2019 when I first started communicating with my shadow self. One of the best things I could have ever done. So that's just a story to help you realize what happens. If you feel fear from just being in the darkness and standing in the mirror, that is information that's going to help you to understand yourself, because to know God is to know thyself. Okay? The second time that I did this, I looked like a villainous woman with superpowers. I don't know how else to explain her. My eyes were scary. My teeth were sharp. Like I looked like somebody that you do not want to mess with, that you don't play with. This particular time, my eyes was glowing red, tripped me out, and I was like, "How you doing? Who are you?" Like all of these things live inside of us, right? In internal family systems, they call these different aspects of you like fragments, right? Of our consciousness is split. If you've been traumatized, you're split. So when you talk about MK Ultra, like this is what happens to the mind when the mind is traumatized. It splits and you compartmentalize different aspects of yourself, which means you're not a whole person. And if you're not a whole person, then that's going to be the root of a lot of chaos in your life. And it's going to be harder for you to navigate this world as a spiritually activated person and not be thrown into more emotional dysregulation. So I'm really giving y'all so many nuggets that you can really build on and use. Like this live, if I'm giving some information that, is helpful for you, like let me know, okay? And let the algorithm know, let the universe know, all right? So let me tell you, the second time, me looking like this woman, I asked her, why do you look like this? Why are you presenting yourself to me like this? Because it means something. It's like having dreams and figuring out the symbolism of the dream. This is the exact same thing that I'm to me like this, because it means something. It's like having dreams and figuring out the symbolism of the dream. This is the exact same thing that I'm teaching you with the mirror ritual. So she said, I'm the one that shows up and protects you when dangerous people are around you. They don't see you, they see me. And there have been times that you were walking down the street, walking past a cereal miller, and they did not try to snatch you. There were times you walked past people and they did not try to snatch you. There were times you walked past people who was looking for somebody to rob and they did not rob you. It was because they saw me. It wasn't because they saw you. I projected my energy into you to protect you. That shit had me in tears. Both times I was in tears. And I was learning and discovering parts of myself that I didn't even know was there. So the moral of the story is we must become whole again. We must become whole again. Get in touch with this part of yourself. I know it's millions of people giving out information on self-mastery and personal development and healing generational trauma and being able to rest in your feminine energy. You know, it's so many people out here giving the information. These filters be doing too much. But I'm telling you, I'm going to improve my relationship with everything, especially myself, even with my children. Get in touch with your shadow self, your demonic self, the parts of you that are addicted to certain emotions. A lot of us are addicted to being angry. It's a familiar energy, and it gives you a surge of hormones and neurological altering chemicals. Anger is addictive. But if you don't get in touch with your shadow self, you won't notice about yourself. So I'm saying to you, the deepest, most powerful work that you can do is getting to know these parts of you. And even if you are afraid, do it anyway. I mean, don't take my advice. You ain't got to do nothing. But look how that song's through this filter. But use this because we're coming up on a new moon. And I talk about this. I teach this in Ending Energetic Fuckery, my new ebook. I talk about ways you can use the moon to have certain divine conversations, communications, invocations, revocations. I teach this. And so we're having this new moon. This energy is really, really, really supportive for you to get to know this part of yourself. Any relationship issues, any addictions, any issues with your family, any issues with trauma bonds, any issues with narcissists, any issues with being empathic, intuitive that you've been having, any issues you've been having with illness, any issues you've been having with burnout, any issues you've been having with fatigue. Getting to know this part of yourself, releasing judgment, learning how to feel love, hold space for love for this part of yourself. This is going to alter your reality in the best way. So if you feel fear when you're standing in the bathroom at night in the mirror with nothing but a black candle, that is information. I really need you all to hear this. Like if you do one thing during this new moon, during any time, but especially during this new moon, do this. Do this. And this has been one of the key ways I have been breaking generational curses. That is a normal theme in my life now. And if you could do this for the next at least 3 nights in a row, you will notice a difference. You will notice a difference. I can't see how you wouldn't notice a difference. Okay? So I want you to use that, and I'm going to repost this on my YouTube, and I'll be looking for your